All right, welcome to the show, the Jay and Cody Show. We have a guest for a while she can hang out. Christine's here. I wish I had known, because I would have looked up I had some questions for you. Well, I didn't, but our listeners had some questions for you.
Oh, that's scary.
I wish I would have, yeah.
Are they bad questions?
I can't remember. I can't remember, one of them, to be honest.
Maybe talk up a little bit. You've kind of got a soft voice. It has good speakers in it, but you do have a soft voice.
I can only talk so loud. I have a sinus infection.
You can lean in, too. That helps. But...
Shit. Ow, my hair.
Your hair. That was hilarious. But no, I honestly can't remember anything. So, as much as I didn't want to just, get into something, I think we kind of need to.
Okay.
The big news going on today is, the white, mentally retarded guy. I want to say retarded, but I can't.
Mentally handicapped.
You can say it, though.
Mentally handicapped is more socially acceptable.
Retarded kid. No, you're right. Mentally, whatever.
We're not talking about Cody.
I don't see I don't understand why we can't use retarded, but I'm not going to get into that because that's not what we're... Anyway, beaten up by the black guys, forced to say Trump sucks, or...
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump, yeah. What do you guys make of that? Have you looked into much of that?
I've seen a little bit of it on Facebook, but in all honesty, I'm not going to lie to you. I spent the past few days sleeping.
I think it just happened, didn't it?
No, it just happened either this morning or late last night.
I've seen some things about it on Facebook, and people were making comments about it's not going big because, the guy who got beat up wasn't a black guy. They said if it was a black guy, then it would be more all over the internet.
Yeah.
And they said that they're not making a big enough deal of it as they should.
See, I think they're making too... I think it's bigger because he's a white guy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean...
Well, I guess maybe from who
the first thing I saw
it.
on the news was a big press conference about it, and
talking about anti-white can't remember the term they used, but anti-white speech, basically, comments is what they were saying on there.
Yeah, and that was the first thing on CNN and Fox, and scrolling through news websites. That was the first thing I came across. I don't know.
Do you think it's a race thing or a political thing?
That's the thing. Is it a race thing? I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean...
Maybe? I think it's more of it's a hate crime against a mentally handicapped person. Which is probably why I'm not overusing the R word in this situation. Because I guess certain people can't handle... I don't know.
I question how much of a race thing it really is, because it did happen in Chicago. And not to stereotype, but most of Chicago is black. Honestly. So it's kind of hard to say, oh, well, since they were black. Well, if it happens in Chicago, when most of your population's black,
Well, and ultimately,
why did it start? Did this mentally handicapped guy say something?
That I don't know. And that's exactly...
Maybe I'm just being closed-minded, but I just have a hard time believing that a group of black men will just attack a white handicapped person for no reason. I'm not saying
especially with the political agenda. I find that even weirder. Not to say anything bad against black people, but I mean, fuck, I bet they didn't even vote, to be honest. So
right. Well, and let me say this. I don't have a hard time believing that they did it, and it's not even a race thing with me. Like you said, you have a hard time believing because it was for black guys, or however you phrase that. See, I don't have a problem, or I don't...
I have a problem with the fact that they did it. You had it coming.
I don't...
Learn to count to 10,
I don't see a problem with it in the fact that they're black. They're shitty people. I don't think it comes down to whether they're black or white. They're just shitty people.
Yeah,
is my thing.
Well, I've seen several.
I could see four white guys doing this to a black guy.
I've seen several videos on Facebook ever since the whole Trump thing. Him winning and everything. I've seen a lot of videos on Facebook streaming of, black guys attacking white men who are wearing, vote for Trump shirts or whatever. But these videos never went public. I think the simple fact because this guy is handicapped, that's why they're making such a big deal. Because there's several videos all over the web like this, and it's not.
Well, and there's the exact opposite too, where you have a lot of like Trump supporters attacking black people and
Yes.
Muslims and Mexicans and everything else.
Exactly.
The thing, to go back to this though, I really wonder, being mentally challenged, if this kid was like yelling at him a lot, like every day, like annoying him, and being like, Donald Trump won, yay!
They're gonna send you back to Africa and
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Yeah, just kind of like bullshit rhetoric, and they finally snapped.
And by
I
the
would
way,
question that more than I would.
how much can you blame him to a certain degree? Like, this administration basically wants to send us back to the 50s.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, to be honest, I'd be a little pissed off.
Of course. I mean, scared. I
Right.
think more is a better.
I mean, they haven't actively said, like, hey, they want to enslave everyone, but, you know, I wouldn't put it past them too much. Which, by the way...
Which, I agree. But to go back to your point, they are just garbage people.
Right.
You know, and yeah, I'm not like on their side. No way
And
am I on their side.
I know for a
and
fact,
if they were real liberals, they would be more sensitive about the fact that he's mentally handicapped.
Right.
You know, I fucking say retarded all the time, but like in real life, I'm nice to mentally handicapped people.
Right.
And wouldn't
it's funny.
berate them or anything like that.
It's funny because Republicans always talk about how, oh, well, you guys just think with your heart, not your mind. Well, if they're really actually liberal, they aren't thinking with their heart here, and they aren't liberal. I'm sorry. I don't want to generalize because I hate it, but honestly,
Which is
not
why
everybody who thinks with their heart is liberal, but liberals 9 times out of 10 will think with their heart.
they're more sensitive to things like
Yeah.
that. And I so want Obama to come out and just be like, well, I have it on my own knowledge, of no other knowledge but my own,
Right.
that Donald Trump hired these black men to do this.
Right.
You know, just make a complete, like, Trump statement.
Well, I was going to
I'd
say,
love that.
if Trump can say, well, I know things that other people don't, which, no, you fucking don't, because you don't ever go to intelligence briefings.
Yeah, where the fuck does he...
Right. And he knows so much about hacking. Like, I know a lot about hacking. Do you, though?
We'll get into that in a second.
It
So,
pisses me off.
final conclusion, we'll say. And maybe, if you have any more to add in about this story.
Really?
Okay, well, here's my standpoint on it. Sorry. My standpoint is knowing how I am. I'm not just going to go attack a mentally handicapped person just to make them say fuck Donald Trump.
It's because you're not a shitty person.
So you think it was probably spurred on by him
I
going
mean,
around...
I've been in class
yeah.
with, mentally handicapped people, and they have a tendency to spurt out, ridiculous things.
Retarded things?
I almost said retarded.
I know you did.
They say ridiculous things, and you're just like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, I used to have a mentally handicapped girl in one of my classes who'd scream out I was ugly every day, but I didn't want to whoop her ass because she was retarded.
Do you think the culture, though, and I know I'm like on a very thin line here, because it's not... I don't believe this to be true. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Do you think the black culture is such that you can't just... like they say, like, Chappelle used to do that whole thing, like, when being real gets you in trouble.
Right.
Like, do you think that culture is just like, I'm too prideful to just let this guy keep doing this, and so they beat him up? Or... And I'll throw this in as an option, too. Do you think they're kind of retarded? Like, I saw the picture
look
of them.
like it.
Like, 2 of them look like window lickers.
Yeah, I mean, one of
there's
the
a
guys, his eyes are
possibility.
facing other ways.
Yeah.
I mean,
They look like a fucking
Look,
human...
Is that them?
right there.
Yeah, there's human catfish right there.
That's the people who jumped this
Yeah.
handicap?
Yeah.
They
Right.
all look mentally
They do.
disturbed.
Like,
They do.
They don't look normal.
Okay,
mean-
they're showing it on tape. They've got him blanked
And
out
I mean,
right
don't get me
now.
wrong, Chicago is not...
And it's brutal. I mean, I feel bad for this kid.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Chicago is not exactly up there with education.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Well, Chicago has one of the highest crime rates, too.
Right. I mean, we were just
I think
talking
the
about
highest,
this.
I think.
Yeah, they do. We were talking about this on a previous show. They went up either 54 or 56% since last December. They have 720 murders this last year.
Well, look at the title. Attackers beat white man. They
Right.
emphasize the white man.
By the way,
part.
this is the 3rd time we've seen this on CNN, so... In, what, an hour? So,
Right.
no, they're not overlooking it because he's white. I hate that fucking
Right.
white privilege. Oh, he's white, they're
Oh,
not
they-
going to
they-
talk about it. Bullshit. Like...
No, I think it's getting more attention because he's handicapped. To be honest.
I think also, too, and I think we'd all agree, that you have to question the intelligence of the black people that did this because they put it on fucking Facebook. Come on, you retards! If you're going, and that is a retarded move, by the way.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know how much that ties in with intelligence as it does with common sense.
All right,
and
maybe you're right.
Pride.
But like, if I teabagged you,
sure,
while you were sleeping,
all right,
and you were 10 years younger, and
I'd like it a lot more than I do now.
I'm my age now, and I would not put that on Facebook.
No,
because it's a crime.
Right? Yeah,
because it's child molestation, basically.
And it may tie in with the pride thing that you're talking about. Like, hey, look what we did.
That's what I'm.
They're proud of it when they shouldn't be.
No,
but.
And how old? Like, two of them look like they're like 12.
No, see, I was gonna say I bet they're all 18 to 20. I bet none of them are older than 20. I'll look it up just to verify, but I bet none of them are older than 20.
Yeah, if you go to CNN, they had a whole
okay,
thing
now
about
watching this video and the fact they've got this boy tied up and everything, my question is...
Fuck white people. Right there.
I mean...
my question is what started this? You know, I don't know.
What do you think, for your own perspective, and not that you have a deeper perspective of it than we do, but you do know that community a little bit more than we do. What do you think they were trying to accomplish?
Probably, which I think they're going around it wrong, probably trying to prove that black people are superior, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, like, I could see where you have no idea because it's...
I don't know. I mean, I would honestly have to look into the situation more to completely understand it.
You have better... You have a better answer than I would, because I honestly can't think of any... Like, I don't know what the hell they'd be trying to... Like, they're not helping their own race at all. They're not helping Democrats or liberals.
Well, what they definitely did was... Black Lives Matter, this is not what it's about.
Yeah, and they're making black...
They're totally
that's another
against
thing.
this.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen that. That's a good pickup.
You will.
Yeah, you will.
Black Lives Matter does not support this kind of act, and they're totally against this. This is not something that they would
That's
support.
something they need to come out.
You're going to see
that.
a lot of right-wing people and conservatives in the next few days saying how this is a
accusing Black Lives Matter, and that's not the case. I've been to the Black Lives Matter rallies.
Yeah, me too.
They're totally non-violent. They're just trying to get their point across. They want to be treated equal. This is not something they would support.
I went to one just recently, and like being a white guy who looks like a fucking guy from Duck Dynasty, by the way, and like possibly a redneck. No one said anything negative to me. But I went to a Bill Maher show not long ago, and all these religious people around the corner just yelling all sorts of shit at me.
So check this out.
You know,
the disabled kid is 18. 3 of the attackers were 18, and then one was 24. I don't know which one was 24. Tanisha. It's one of the girls. Tanisha Covington. She's 24. I bet she's the methy looking one.
Probably. She's the Cody of the group. Like the one that's older than
the one at the end right there with the weave.
I bet that's her.
Yeah, I bet so too.
Because that other one looks 18.
Mentally, they all look about 6.
Yeah.
No, that's not fair. My son's smarter than them.
Right.
Mentally, they look about 1.
I honestly feel like with Trump being in office, this is just the beginning. There's gonna be more shit like this that comes out.
Yeah.
There's
think
possibly,
so too.
I think there's gonna be more black on white crime. Honestly.
I hope not, because I mean, we'll really just be playing into their rhetoric.
Well, and the problem
It's
Trump's
not
not
the way
going
to
to do
handle
anything
this.
about it. He's not going to come out and speak out against
He'll
it.
ostracize. He'll like make a big deal about it.
Right.
I would
You
be
know,
surprised if
look what
within the
their
next
side
couple of
does.
days he's on advertisement with this handicapped boy trying to speak out for him and trying to make black people look bad.
I bet you if either one of us, any of us, were following Trump on Twitter, I
can
bet
go
you
look at it
he's
right now.
already posting something.
See
He's been very active on Twitter lately.
Oh,
posting
that's
all
all-
kinds
that's
of
all he
crazy
does.
shit right
Yeah,
now.
no, that's not how politics should be handled.
No, but yeah, I mean, that kind of violence is not the way to get our point across.
Well, and the problem
it
is-
it hurts us so bad.
And with Obama, I wish he would right now because it is looking bad for him that he's not saying anything about it.
I don't know that he has or hasn't.
The last I checked, he hasn't. He hasn't said anything. But in the past, Obama's been pretty good about not ostracizing either group, talking more about, what happened was bad, but this is how we should try to come together a little bit more. Not, kumbaya, so to speak.
Yeah.
Trump's just gonna...
In this instance, though, I think he definitely doesn't need to take that approach.
Okay,
I think he
Donald
should say
Trump
anything.
has
I
not
think he should
posted
go after
anything about this on Twitter. Instead, he's talking about other things right now. The last thing he posted is to make up their own minds as to the truth. The media lies to make it like I'm against intelligence when I am the biggest villain.
No, I think that Obama should definitely come out against these guys. Either way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he should be
Right.
bipartisan on this situation.
I'd agree. Do you think he will?
I
have doubts.
He's been showing a lot of balls lately, which I've been excited about.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
When he basically came out and said to Democrats, he was like, let them fail, basically.
Right.
Let them piss off the American people by repealing and replacing.
Right.
Which, by the way, what is your guys' opinion about us possibly losing national health care?
Well,
shitty.
And are you part? Do you use it?
I mean, I get health care through the state because I'm a single parent.
Right.
But if we were to lose that, that'd be really bad. Because I suffer from a lot of health issues, and my daughter, she has an immune deficiency problem, so that's, to me,
I don't think we'll
idea.
lose that, but it'll hurt that. Like, your premiums will go up quite a bit. Like, how much you'll have to pay will go up, like, I can't remember number. I think, basically, it could cost the taxpayers, like, $7 billion or $1 million.
and I'm not sure how to feel about it, because on one hand, like, I'm going without it for right now because I can't afford it, and my mom swears up and down it's because of Obamacare, and I'm not really familiar with healthcare, but she swears it's up and down. Swears up and down that it's Obamacare, if I can talk.
But it's not. Like, it literally is the insurance companies that are
And that's what I
jacking up
tried
the
to tell her.
prices. And even without, like, it's going to go up more. Like, when he takes that off, our insurance, I don't have insurance, like my kid does. They're again, like, through the state, because I don't have insurance. I don't work someplace, I get insurance and whatever. But, yeah, like, everyone's premiums will go up.
Yeah.
Because you'll have, and I'm wrong, I was actually wrong, I said 7.2, it'll be like $30 million it'll go up. I remember I saw something Bernie Sanders had posted.
Wow.
And,
Well, and she's pretty hopeful that Trump's going to lower insurance rates.
I have to go.
alright. Well, thanks for stopping in.
No problem.
Anytime you want to be on, by the way, just,
Yeah.
let us know. It's always good to have someone else.
It is.
Well, y'all enjoy your talk show.
We will.
Is your mom picking up your son?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Don't forget that.
Okay. Thank you. I dismissed.
Right. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah,
Now I can have my seat back.
it was nice of you to give up the seat for her.
Yeah, well, I can be a nice guy sometimes.
No, hopefully we can get her on more often.
Right.
It's nice having other people.
It is.
But yeah, I don't know. I think, and calling it, by the way, Trump care, I think so. Another just great shot Obama's
Well, it's
doing.
really pinning him on him.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to pin Obamacare on him. Well, then.
and like Obama was like, I didn't even want most of this. I wanted a much different healthcare plan.
Right.
But you're going to call it that, then fine. Then.
And that's all because the Republicans were in there. It's the whole executive order thing. He kind of had to take what he could get.
Yeah, he was up against the wall.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, I've talked to a few people, a really good doctor out of Pennsylvania, who, I should know this, but who basically went, and I mean, she just read this whole long, like, 12-page paper she wrote up, and it was, like, on her own she did this, just to, like, educate people about how bad it's going to be if Trump does, repeal our health care. Like, so many things are going to get really fucked up. Like, he says, I want to keep this, do away with that, get better on this, whatever. Like, you can't do it that way.
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't understand. Just like the hacking thing. Like, he doesn't understand because he
Right.
doesn't fucking know.
Right.
But it's weird to me that we listen to that. Like, not us, but as Americans and whatever. We listen to, or like,
You're putting your faith in someone who refuses to do intelligence briefings because of planning complications, basically. Like, no, you make time. You're the president-elect, soon to be president. You make time for this.
and I think the other side is getting, like myself, I'm getting so frustrated by how much bullshit he's able to get away with, and we're not doing anything.
Right.
Like the fact that he's the executive producer of The Apprentice.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be putting his companies into blind trusts, but so far he still hasn't.
Right.
No, that's okay.
Right.
Like, why the fuck aren't we doing something about
But
that?
if Obama did something like that,
Oh, fuck, yeah. This world that we live in, I mean, and you know what I take it back to? 2001, December 28th? I don't know. It might have even been in January now I think about it. Yeah, I think it was. January 2002. The Raiders and the Patriots played a divisional championship game. And everybody wanted Tom Terrific to get into the Super Bowl. The Raiders had him on a strip sack. And they changed the fucking rules that night right there. And said it wasn't a fumble. Ever since then, white man has always, they've had the, like,
that's what it goes back to.
I mean, I think it might go back further. I don't know.
Right,
Maybe
yeah.
back to the,
50s.
since the beginning of our country. But,
Right,
whatever.
sure.
No, I just, I'm tired of white men getting their way all the time.
Right.
I'm sick of it. I mean, but I feel like I'm the only one.
And it's
'Cause
coming
the only
from a
reason
white
why-
guy.
Yeah, I'm totally a white guy. The only reason why, and here's the thing. I don't get my way all the time. But I'm not rich.
Right.
I'm not,
Right.
nobody knows who the fuck I am. No one really gives a shit. Which I'm fine with, by the way. I mean, the rich thing, yeah, I'd kind of like,
Right.
who wouldn't? But just like, I don't know, Paul Allen or any of those guys, I'd be a good rich man.
Yeah.
And you never hear those guys doing shit just to be a dick. But I don't know why we get, and again, I know I'm speaking to less than half of America, because less than half of America voted for Trump. By the way, that's gotta hurt.
Right.
And you're Hillary, and you're gonna be at that inaugural ball, and you're like, well, I got the votes.
Yeah. Right.
I'm still up. But why the fuck are we so, I don't know, does less than half of America, like, do they feel like they're, I don't know, how do I say this without, they just identify with Donald Trump or want to identify with Donald Trump, and that kind
They
of,
can relate.
yeah, like, but they can't.
Right.
I mean, but it's weird. New Year's Eve, I had some friends over. Well, I went to a party. It was a small party, I mean, enough that there was some drinking going on, but my kid was also running around.
Yeah.
It was more of a family kind of thing. But a friend of the family, an older guy, and he's a good dude. I've known him for forever. He broke out because it was kind of this like no one was talking political. It was all about sports.
Yeah.
Because we've got a few people, friends of the family, that are Republican, and then the whole family, pretty much, my whole family is Democrat.
Yeah.
And he finally said, "Why are people talking about Russia hacking us when that's not true?"
There it is.
And it was like, and like my mom gave me this look actually, like, don't do it, and like, and so did Steph, and actually I think Steph was like, "Hey, Jameson needs you." And I'm like, nah, no he doesn't, not right now. And I let him have it a little bit. For one, I was like, why? And maybe you can help me with this. Julian Assange. Why the fuck do we believe in this guy?
I have no idea.
He's a rapist.
Right.
For one, just outright rapist. He hasn't left where he's at in 5 years. How can he have any more
Right.
information than anyone else? And be it that he's anti-American, but Americans believe him.
Right.
I mean, is he not like I don't know, the poster boy for the Manchurian Candidate, like
Yeah.
setting up this whole thing. Like, I don't know, but in your opinion, why do you think that even though James Comey and every intelligence we have, 100% says it's Russia, why do you think American people don't believe it?
I think I don't. This, by the way, any reason I list is not going to be a good one. It's not that I believe it. I think they just don't want to be wrong. I really think that's part of it. They just don't want to be wrong, and they want somebody who will confirm their bias. They feel like Hillary was the devil, and they wanted to take their guns, and they're going to ruin all this stuff, but they see Donald Trump as like that beacon of hope, or whatever you want to call him. And
Beacon of chlamydia.
yeah, and when somebody sides with him, they instantly just, they don't even, I really don't think they even look at how they're siding with him. They're just, oh, you're supporting Trump, I'm in.
Yeah, you got a much better perspective over this. As I just said, my whole family is Democrat.
And see, my whole family's Republican.
It's pretty self-serving to me. So, yeah, you have more in-depth in what these people...
I don't, because they talk about, like, they'll give me reasons as to why they support Trump and stuff, but I don't get it. Like, I was just talking the other day with my parents, and my mom literally said, I am completely happy with everybody that Trump has picked for his administration. Really? And, like, you brought up McMahon. Like, are you serious right now? The CEO of...
Linda fucking McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? You really the CEO of a not a company, organization that has built its money off of being fake.
Yeah, yeah.
You're okay with that?
Totally
being
fine.
in an administration, Pence, really? You're okay with that? So I don't get, like, they'll give me, and I kind of honestly, I kind of just brush them off because I know that nothing they say, and I'm right every time. Nothing they say is going to make any sense at all.
No.
I don't get what they see, and it all kind of goes back to the same thing about, Second Amendment. They want to take our guns. No, nobody ever said that. That's a platform that you made up to go against Trump. Insurance, that was a big one for them.
And I don't understand why they're so against that.
I don't know.
I think it's great that every American can have insurance.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
right.
We
Well,
should want our fellow Americans to be healthy, right?
right. And their problem with it is that it forced it on them.
But see, here's the thing, and I know you're playing devil's advocate on this, but it's just like the whole thing, like whenever you go to like Walmart or someplace like that, and you're leaving, and they're like, "Hey, you want to donate $1 to Children's Miracle Network or whatever?" People get pissed off about that.
Right.
But the thing is if you leave it up to people to help these kind of programs, they won't do it.
Right, exactly.
So, like, and if you're like, hey, check this out. Even Obama, his first whole thing was like, listen, taxes might go up about 3%. And people are like, oh, fuck
Right.
that. And, like, literally, that's nothing.
Well, and I think the problem with people is they don't realize they want lower taxes, lower. It's always lower. You never realize you can only go so low.
Not to mention...
To sustain a country, you have to have a certain amount of taxes. And for some things, it's better to have taxes on. Like the whole thing with Bernie Sanders and the free college, right? Well, he wanted to raise taxes, but what they don't understand is that you're not... It's a good thing to raise taxes for. It's not
a
like...
great thing to raise taxes
It's not
for.
like you're raising taxes on groceries just because. They aren't doing it just because they want your money.
No.
This is going to...
This is going to go into great programs.
And they were bitching about, oh, well, he just wants to give out free college. Like, no, that's what your taxes are for. And I think that's great because part of the problem, I feel like America is so stupid nowadays and only getting dumber is because they can't afford school and they're scared to get student loans.
Not to mention, there's no growth.
Right.
Because we're a service industry.
Well,
we need people to create jobs. And, actually create jobs. Not be super rich and own a business and they, quote unquote, are job creators when all they do is run on skeleton crews and ship most of the work overseas. No, we need more businesses.
Part of the problem was someone was trying to tell me about, I just don't want to pay extra tax money for kids who aren't going to try in school. And I get that to a certain point, but I think the bigger problem is that people just aren't going to school. Rather, if you're going to school, you're trying to a certain degree. I'm not a straight A student, but I'm doing what I gotta do.
No, and you know,
nobody wants to go to school.
And to me, I think like that was our next battle, was free education.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to healthcare again, and
Right.
it's like, ugh.
And if you keep going back to the same thing, you're never gonna make any progress anywhere else.
No, look how, and you know what? Eventually, we'll have it, and we would have wasted 10 years.
Right.
Look at gay marriage, abortion, all that shit. Such a big deal. We wasted
Right.
decades battling over these
And even
fucking
abortion
things.
isn't up in.
It's
still up in the air.
Still in the up, yeah.
And gay
of course,
marriage is too.
Abortion's legal, but Planned Parenthood,
Right.
on the other hand, which there again, it's to help people. It's to help
And
women.
Planned Parenthood,
we can
a small percentage of it actually goes to abortion.
Like
a lot of it is like
4%
prenatal stuff.
yeah,
And
mammograms and things like that
and
that
people
women
don't
need.
understand that if you defund Planned Parenthood, not only are you taking away necessary health benefits that they really need to get checkups and stuff, you're not stopping abortion. You're stopping
No.
safe abortion.
Safe.
Safe-ish. Abortion is kind of, it's not great for your body.
No.
But it's going to go back to people using hangers
Yeah.
or falling down the stairs.
I think I said that before. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
The
You're not
back alley abortion will be a thing.
Yeah.
It might be one of your new jobs.
Yeah. Hey, maybe.
You know, and also more importantly, what they're stopping is like the information about safe sex,
Right.
condoms, things
Right.
like that are really helpful in our society. Not all of it, but I think a good chunk of it believes in abstinence still.
No, I don't think so.
No, education. What we tell students and blah blah blah. Like I just saw this thing with like Rick Perry in Texas, which by the way, Texas has like one of the highest teen pregnancy rates.
Yeah.
They had a chlamydia outbreak not long ago in one of their high schools. But
Well,
Rick Perry's sitting there, abstinence works. Trust me, abstinence. No, it doesn't.
Well, and you know that's the
doesn't
thing.
work.
I came from a Christian school who taught abstinence, but I can tell you right now, having that education.
Oh, you fucked way earlier than I did, and you fucked a lot more people way earlier than I
Well,
did.
that is valid. The point I was going to make was all they tell you is don't do it.
Right,
They
that's what
don't
I'm saying.
tell you about the problems that come with it. All they say, just don't do it. This is what God wants you to do. They don't. I would rather teach someone, you should wait a good few years longer than I did. But
Yeah.
if you don't, and I know that I'm not going to be able to stop you once you've made your mind up. See, that's part of the problem is parents are naive. They think that telling their kids don't have sex, don't do this, they think that they're stopping them, but they aren't. Once they've made up their mind, they're going to do it. So I would rather focus, I definitely want to instill, like, you should wait till this age.
I think
I think it's more important to instill being safe about it. If you decide to do it.
Because, like, let me just say, like, on my side of things, more liberal family, and I didn't lose my virginity until I was, like, 17. How old were you?
13.
13. And the thing is, like, my parents didn't take a don't do it type thing. What they did was, like, listen, you're going to have, and the STDs weren't a big thing. They probably should have brought that up more.
Right.
But it was more about pregnancy.
Right.
And blah, 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 blah. And, I think, like, here's my dad, who's like, you can never take that back.
Right.
Think about that. And the thing is, like, I could have lost my virginity at, like, 14. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't want to. It wasn't. I thought about it. I'm like, I don't want to deal with any of these problems. And even at 15, and then at 16, I was getting like, you know what? I might be getting close to being ready. But condoms every time.
Yeah. Right.
Until I was married, I used condoms.
And like the problem with, and my parents are these same people again. They think that if you teach kids about safe sex, you're encouraging them. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to be bold and say this. I would much rather encourage kids to have sex if it means they're doing it safely. If it means that kids are having sex at a younger age, I don't think that they should. But if that's just one of the consequences of them still being safe with it, fine. I'll take that
I don't
loss.
think educating somebody on something is.
And by the way,
is like endorsing it.
And if
like,
you're really educating someone and you show them a picture of crabs, I don't think so.
Or childbirth. I saw childbirth really young.
Sure, that's another one.
I think I saw childbirth at, like in 8th grade.
Right, yeah.
Oh my God. I was like,
Right.
Ugh.
Like, no. If you're really educating
And
them,
that's what I'm gonna do to my kid. I'm gonna take him in to like see a child being born. Be like, yeah.
or a
see?
video.
Yeah.
I don't know if they allow you to.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't think they did because of, like, privacy issues.
You can. I mean, not like you can walk. If someone doesn't want that, then no.
Right.
But there's open rooms.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
pretty-
good.
Pretty fucked up and gross. But yeah, like, because if you see all that, you're not. You're like, nah, I'm good.
Like somebody just took a shotgun up
Oh,
there.
I was there. I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, I took a long break after that. I'll say that.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna take a break. For YouTube listeners, this will be part 1 of
Episode
2.
21.
Episode 21. Good job.
Thank you.
You're doing better.
Well,
We'll be
when
back.
you list it correctly.
Shut up. We'll be back.